Episode number 242.
This is a big recommendation to any business owner who's listening and they really want to transform their social media to be a profitable marketing machine. So I tell them to specialize in one platform.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, I'm fired up today because my boy's in social media, and so am I, and we're helping businesses make that money right now because we're all making it through a dang pandemic. But folks, I am pumped to bring you our featured guest today, Christopher Wick. Christopher, are you ready to be real?
I'm ready.
My man's bringing the fuego, folks. He is the owner CEO of SMM International. They are a international social media management firm helping customers all over the world. Christopher is a great guy. He not only is a speaker and an author, but he's just a great guy. I've always loved connecting with him. We worked on a few projects together, and a great soul about you, Christopher. So how's your day going today? First thing I always ask.
It's going awesome. How about yours? It's
going good, man. It's we're getting the fuego going. The Monday start. Although, as you know, as a business owner, we're working every day. But
right.
You develop things in your business that we're going to talk about. A lot of people may be envious because you figured out ways to have a lot of people managing the things in your life, so you're not having to do as much work. And we'll get into that. But starting way back when you were first thinking about getting into business and social media and starting an international agency. What was the first idea? Like, what gave you the idea to start a social media business?
I'm really glad that you asked that question because if your show is all about being real, this is like the perfect question to start with.
Yes.
I became a social media consultant totally by accident.
Really?
I never intended to go into marketing. I was a business major at the University of Houston and getting a degree in entrepreneurship, which is totally a real thing. And I met someone who needed help growing their business. And after doing my analysis and my consulting with them, it was like a V8 moment, like I should have drank a V8. And I realized, oh my gosh, their solution to their problem in growing their business is to do social media marketing. And just like that, I became certified as a social media manager for one person. And my whole goal was just to help this one business owner. And after that, it grew like wildfire. So I totally got into this industry by accident. Why I really like sharing that with people, though, is it really levels the playing field. A lot of people think social media is too complicated or too expensive or too techy. And I tell people, look, I'm not techy at all. I barely even use social media, yet I've helped hundreds of businesses and thousands of people just for the desire to help other people. So it can really be done for anybody. And no, you don't have to be techy. You don't have to be good at social. You don't have to have a massive budget. There are so many things you can do wherever you are. And it was one person that was such a great blessing because that one person totally changed the trajectory of my career. And it's awesome. It's awesome to have a business living in service.
And that's the most important thing, folks, because it's the same thing in my business. One person, my buddy Jason, sitting down at a Starbucks. I was working at ABC Television at the time and had a great run in it. Was working there for 4.5 years. And then he said, hey, people are going to need their Facebook pages managed. And I was like, ding dong, here we go. PowerPoint, let's get a PowerPoint together. Let's get a crappy logo together. Let's put this thing together and start talking to customers. Because it was a trend that you just saw almost as a hard trend. People were going to change the way they communicated with customers. And folks, don't ever forget this. Gmail.com is my most successful social network. People quite often always think, now there's many different social networks, Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram and TikTok now and Snapchat. But there's a lot now. So just never forget, though, folks, your most successful sometimes are just your one-on-one communication. And that's really what social media is if you see it through the eyes of Facebook Messenger and being able to communicate with customers in a private manner, selling products through them in messengers. I mean, we sell cars in Messenger, vehicles, Land Rovers, Jaguars. People are buying vehicles literally from our listings, going in, having some communication with them, and then sending them to the dealership to buy these things. Because everyone now is buying things, like as we know, Carvana, there's lots of businesses buying things and not even test driving. It's just like it shows up at your house and, hey, you don't like it, return it for 7 days. It's a new way of thinking. And so now we're going to get into, because you've had to change the way you got into a new business, but then you also said, hey, I'm not really into social media that much. I don't really actually want to do all this work, though. T Huff. I don't actually want to pick up the dime and do all this because it's hard to do all this. And also that doesn't scale. As a business owner, you got to have something that does scale as your time is valuable. And you as the owner are the strategist. You're the one working on to find their crucial problems. And I know you, Christopher, after knowing you for many years, you really do spend time to find their needs. Like, you're not just saying this shit. Like, a lot of people might just be, oh, I really try to go find. Like, I can tell when I deal with you that you really do try to get to what they need to have happen for it to be a successful campaign. And that's so important. Transparency is so important with the customer, with your providers. But when you were thinking about starting, how did you think about finding people to work for you? I mean, how did you think about getting your staff going? How do you start that process?
Well, that's a really important question. And I love what you said earlier about how Gmail is your most successful social network because it's one-on-one. I tell my clients all the time, just because it's internet marketing and we're clicking buttons and doing ads doesn't change the human behavior of people in relationships. So like, you're totally owning it. And I love the way you respond to email, by the way, Travis. You are always responding to email, always so quickly, which is really all about that one-on-one relationship. Yes. So let's go back to your question. When I first started questioning, okay, how do I create something that's what I call SSP, which is Sellable, Scalable, Profitable. That's really my motto in every business or brand that I own. It's got to be scalable, sellable, profitable. It has to be, because it has to be sustainable for the generations after me. So my very first client, I actually did the entire campaign by myself. And then I realized I'm really not the best person to be tweeting, to be doing Instagram, to be pinning, to be Facebook posting. I want to go find people that are smarter than me about this. Right. My superpower as an entrepreneur is the ability to analyze and connect with people to know exactly what they need. And my clients are often surprised by how quickly I do not press buttons and launch ads. I'm going to spend so much time understanding the ins and outs of your business, just like you and I have, basically the same experience day to day. Every day we're stepping into different businesses. I'm stepping into a hair salon. I'm stepping into a construction company. I'm stepping into an HVAC company. And how can we make that successful? Right. So the very first thing I valued was diversity. If I could hire people that thought differently than me, because I'll tell you the truth, if everyone in my business was exactly like me, we would not have a successful business because everyone has their role on a team. Right. So I went to go find people that were totally different. And I specifically looked for people in different states and different countries because I wanted the ability to think totally different. Because if they thought just like Christopher Wick in Houston, Texas, that's not going to have a global presence. So on I believe it was like day 65 of managing my own campaign, I made my first hire. So my very first client was not profitable because the first thing I did was I turned around and I found someone who was better at this stuff than I was. Right. And then little by little, every little penny I got, I invested into my team. And I'm so grateful for my team. It's the reason why I'm able to do things like this today is because right now my team is simultaneously managing hundreds of campaigns where I get to do one of the most important things in my values and my business, which is connecting with other great entrepreneurs and really showcasing our platform for being able to help people grow in their companies. No one got into business so they could be a slave to their job. No one got into their business and took a bunch of risks so they could be worried about finances. So as a professional marketer, I get the great fortune of helping people really get the business they wanted all along.
That's amazing. SSP, folks. I love that. Sellable, scalable, and profitable. And I think we're all experiencing one of those three triggers in different ways with this pandemic, because maybe you were profitable, but now your revenue is zero. Maybe you were scalable, but then now something happened and, half your team's working from Zoom and things have changed and,
right.
maybe you were sellable, but now no one wants to buy it because no one wants to come into the grocery stores or people aren't shopping completely like they used to in some cases because everyone's still a little bit worried. I mean, we're popping in the grocery store, we're going to get our food, but we're not trying to go shop for hours at the stores like we used to, and we might be shopping online. Amazon's getting all our money or eBay,
right.
Etsy, these companies are getting tons of money, but because we can do that online from our devices, from our own homes where we feel safe. And so I think those three things are so important for every business to think about continually because a lot of times we just didn't expect this. Most people did not expect a zero revenue model. The AMC theater, that it's a huge theater company, did not expect to have to be filing bankruptcy right now because they had tons of hits ready to go. I mean, they got a summer's full of hits, but they can't play any of them. So the point is, sometimes you just didn't predict it. But for most of us, that whether you're starting a business, especially like you said, when you're very starting the business, you need to think about these things, folks. Is it sellable? Can I sell it eventually one day? Is it scalable? Do I have to be there? Does it depend on me completely? If it does, it might not be something that's even sellable if it's not scalable. I mean, it's the kind of two go together. And lastly, as we know, profitable, like the restaurant business, 4% profit, the average restaurant business. That's insane. How could you ever survive? Now going down to a lot of my restaurant clients, 20 to 30% revenue lines with the to-go order, the catering, they're still happy than zero, right? But it's not opened up completely, right? I mean, they're having to do social distancing, less tables, etc., right? So it's just one of those things. You've got to be profitable from the get-go, Christopher. And any of us that are thinking about starting a business, thinking about our businesses, my business is coming up. We just had our 11-year anniversary, and we're like, okay, we're hitting another challenge here because our business is tied to agencies that are being affected in many different ways. And so we're kind of having to pivot with them. And I've been giving away campaign services and just doing everything I can to help support them because I know they want to get new customers. I know they're going to go meet new people, but people don't even want to meet right now. Most people are not trying to take business meetings right now, face to face at least, unless it's like vital, necessary, urgent. And we're still taking some phone calls and some Zoom meetings and things like that, obviously, new inbound things, but not many people trying to meet face-to-face right now. I mean, I'm doing FaceTime with customers. I've been doing Zooms. I've been doing everything else, but just a little bit weary about that, right, Christopher? I mean, so we have to adapt. I mean, if you don't, folks, it's like one of those things, adapt or die. We just had a previous guest on. It's just, she's talking about, the experimental leader, because you got to be experimental as a leader right now and take these tests and try something new. Try social media if you haven't done it. If you haven't ever done anything with social media in your business, as we sometimes, it's crazy when you see that, but some businesses don't do social media. And all of a sudden this big business is like, hey, we've never done social media, but we got all these things that we want to do on social media and talk to people. And it's like, wow, like it's just amazing when you really think about it. Because not obviously any one provider, or there's just so many industries that haven't had to do it, but now are being kind of forced to because their model revenue is changing. They want to go, a lot of these farms especially are going direct to consumer. So instead of them selling through the grocery stores, the farm companies are trying to figure out, hey, how can I sell my bell peppers online? Hey, how can I sell my strawberries direct to you in a frozen packed, I mean, because we deal with a lot of ag out here in the Central Valley and California, especially in our area out here. It's insane. It's insane how many businesses are trying to move that way, from cookie companies that typically sell on 7-Eleven to now selling directly to you on a monthly subscription base. I mean, it's just amazing now. Things are changing. And so you got to think of your business that way. And there's so many things now more than ever to do. So are there any of your favorite platforms right now for customers? I mean, are you seeing any major successes? I know we have a variety of customers, so it's hard to maybe pinpoint one, but are you seeing verticals or businesses that are having success right now in your industries?
I do. And I see it across all industries, all ages, any size of business from small to billion-dollar companies. Facebook is the absolute biggest platform I recommend. It is the most advanced in terms of advertising. They've got over 1 billion data points. So if someone's looking to sell their bell peppers or their strawberries or their cars or their hair services, Facebook is the platform to start. And now that's connected with Instagram, even better. But Facebook that was the real big tipping point. If you remember back in 2012 when they went public, that's when everything changed. People really started getting away from magazines, direct mail, even billboards, and they started going to Facebook. So I see a lot of people where this is a big recommendation to any business owner who's listening and they really want to transform their social media to be a profitable marketing machine. So I tell them to specialize in one platform. We could do a campaign where we're all on 8, 10, 12 platforms. But if you could just master your platform, I start with Facebook because it's the easiest. Most of my clients customers are on Facebook. There are very few people I've run into where Facebook didn't work for them. A lot of people think, well, Facebook's older and the newer, younger kids are going to other ones. There is some validity to that, but they're still on Facebook. They just have way more bandwidth than guys like you and I do. Like we can we know we're going to log into our Facebook every day. The kids after us, now they're logging in simultaneously to everything.
Right.
So Facebook is where that, especially in a time of change, like you're talking about agencies coming to you, needing help. And I really agree with your service of like giving things away for free. And I tell my clients, if you're going to go out guns blazing, give away free stuff. Serve as many people as you can, because when you live a life in service, it is literally impossible that you will not succeed. And that's really why my agency, we're coming into our 7th year. This is one of the busiest times we've ever had in our business. The pandemic, and I won't be cavalier about this because the pandemic has hurt very many people and it's taken lives, but there's a pendulum with everything. So there's some businesses have been massively effective. Then our businesses, like you and I, our businesses are expanding because we're answering that need. And the people who are living in service, those are the guys that are going to win, because we're not in it just to make a buck. We're not in it just to be profitable. For me, the whole reason I get up in the morning is to help other people be successful. You can't put a dollar amount on that, just like why I've made time for this today, because if just one person could hear this, if one person could say, hey, I'm just going to focus on one platform, I'll deal with the other platforms later. I'm going to try social media for the first time, or maybe I'll try it again. I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm doing some video advertisements where I'm saying, hey, if you tried it and you decided it didn't work for you, I'm going to ask you, do it one more time. Just one more time. If it doesn't work this time, just say, F it, I'll never do social media again. But just give it one more chance, because now is literally the best time to be online. We have so many users online. So that's more inventory for ads. So ads are doing better. They're cheaper cost. It's awesome. So there's a bright side to every situation.
Right. Yeah, it's the best time ever to use social advertising, folks, because people have pulled their ad campaigns, so that leaves extra inventory. That means Facebook's going to give you more value for your dollar, and same with Google Ads. So try it, test it, do it. I got some layups for you guys on Facebook because I love Facebook. Funny memes always work in your industry. They get shared, they get the love. Also, tell a motivational story weekly. Tell a motivational quote. Share something of motivation. People love sharing these studies. People love actually feeling like you're trying to motivate them, get them in the mindset, especially right now. Tell your emotional story. Tell why you started your business. Talk about why you created this, the struggles you're going through, how you're coming back, what you're doing to keep the place safe, sanitary. And the last thing, and I know you love this too, is contests. Contests always work on Facebook. Give stuff away.
Oh, yeah.
Give away the kitchen sink, folks. Literally give away every autograph. I got a Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, Wayne Gretzky. Who wants to win that one? The point is, you can give these things, and the winners feel unbelievably appreciated. I've been doing this now for 11 years, giving things and contests and timeline engagement, and just it's the best thing in the world to do as part of your social media is to give, especially right now. And it works. I'll give you guys a really good tip too. If you're a restaurant, give your featured item right now. Give away your featured item. We've done that with a lot of the restaurants because they're moving, Christopher, to that like kind of more bigger order, family style. Instead of just selling one burger, they're trying to sell you like a burger pack of like 6 burgers, 6 fries, 6 beers, all for $60 or something. You know what I mean? And it works. It works. People like these things. And so they're moving to a bigger, they're trying to get a bigger ticket item because, buying a burger, you don't make as much money on one burger. You make a lot more when you sell 6 of them all at once, So the point is, give away your featured services. If you have an item of the week, if you have a menu item you want to promote or feature, a special or whatever, give away that product. It's basically like literally the best ad campaign you'll ever do because people are tagging friends, sharing it. And now you're basically your prize is your featured item. And so it's a win-win. I've seen it work so well for anyone in business, especially trying to introduce something new, a new salad, a new milkshake. Right. They're trying to introduce and influence something new. Just give it away. It's not hard. But now, my man, we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Apple or Android?
Both.
Both. My man's got 2 phones. He's got a trap phone and he's got an iPhone. I like your style. That's cool. That's cool. Netflix or YouTube?
I'll say YouTube. I learn a lot from YouTube. I do have Netflix though, but I think I learn more when I go on YouTube.
Right. It's amazing. I always call it the University of Google and YouTube, because literally you start typing in what you want, baby. And you got to watch a few videos though, because sometimes you watch this one, you get a tainted view, but a lot of times you watch a few different ones, you're like, dang, you can do anything. You just like literally have to follow it, be safe, follow the instructions, and like, I remember like changing out like electrical wiring and doing all sorts of stuff. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Like, it's amazing. And then also obviously stuff with social and stuff like that, learning from other people that are doing it. And I'm constantly having to learn, as well as you. I'm sure your team, you're always having to learn in this business. It's never a stagnant business. Shit is always changing. The algorithms, things are always moving. So for you, do you like Instagram or Facebook better?
Facebook for sure. The OG.
The OG, and still our number one request, right? It's still the number one player based on the ads, folks. Based on the ads, the targeting, the organic reach, still available with the things we talked about, the shareability. Chicken or steak?
Neither. I'm vegetarian.
Vegetarian. So what do you do? The Beyond Meat? Are you a fan of Beyond Meat? Are you a fan?
I do. I like Beyond Meat. Yeah.
I've been an investor in them since the IPO. A great company.
All right.
An amazing run. Having a great run here. Laptop or smartphone?
Ooh, I would say desktop, and so it's neither, but I always tell people I have to wait till I'm at my big computer to see the moving pieces of the calendar. I can respect that a lot of people run their business with all the smartphones. That's really not my preferred, because I want to see it big and I want to see all the moving pieces. And that actually, as an older millennial, that makes me very atypical. And I like to keep it simple. I don't like to have too many apps or too many programs. Simplicity is key.
Yes, the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I remember that was the best marketing thing I ever learned. Keep it simple, stupid. Sometimes we overthink our things. Many times we don't go with our gut and just go with it. Spotify or Pandora if you're thinking about music?
Oh, Spotify for sure.
Yeah, movies or video games?
Neither.
That's cool. Yeah. What else do you do?
I don't really find my fulfillment.
What else do you do with time?
I train a lot, so I work out a lot.
Good.
Yep. And then I do get the great opportunity to watch movies with my lovely wife.
That's awesome.
And then video games. I think if I were to get sucked into video games, I would lose productivity, so I don't even go there.
Yes, exactly. That's awesome, man. What's your favorite thing to do right now, training-wise?
Ooh, right now I am doing CrossFit. I've been doing CrossFit for almost a year, and I love it.
Good job, dude. How many days a week do you do CrossFit, my man?
4.
Good job.
Then I train 4 days a week with my trainer. And then I have 3 other sessions on my own. So I work out like 7 times a week, which is awesome.
That's
and
awesome.
It really, health is directly tied to my financial and entrepreneurial success. So I tell people when they're really wanting to be successful in business, the first thing I recommend is really not monetary or financial related. It's all about maintaining your health and whatever that looks like for you.
Right.
You know, it could be you just want to have great energy, and that's awesome. I've competed in bodybuilding, and at one time that was my version of what would that health look. And I really tell people, don't compare yourself to other people. Find what makes you feel good, and that's going to trickle through everything. Your money is going to get better. Your relationships are going to get better, everything. So everything starts with your health. That's really where I focus a lot of my attention.
And most in this world, with all of us wanting a lot of things, I want to get skinny quick. I want to get rich quick. I want to do this quick. The thing about health and the thing about working out, as I know now, after doing this for 23 years in my journey of changing my body and transforming the person I am, is that it happens every day. You got to put in the work. My man's doing it 7 days a week. You got to put in the work, folks. So don't think this thing just happens. I blink an eye and I wake up and I took this pill. I took this pill, folks, and I woke up. No, you got to put in work, and it feels good. And that's what makes you disciplined. That's what makes you stronger. That's what makes you a better husband, a business owner, a friend, a father, everything. And so it's so true. A couple last more questions for you, my man. When you wake up in the morning, why do you love being you?
Oh, I get the great fortune to help other people. I'm like the luckiest person on the planet, because every day I get to wake up and ask myself, what does this world need? What does this person need? What does Travis need? And I get to live in and for them. And that's really a wonderful mantra that I have, is everything I do is for them.
Do you think you'll ever retire?
That's a really good question.
It's tough, huh?
I think my ability to retire is guaranteed, thankfully.
Right.
My desire to stop, I cannot visualize a reality where I'm not doing something in service for them and not helping business owners. So I like to go ahead and plan that I'm just going to be doing this every day, perpetually, until something changes.
I love that, man. I think more and more people are moving that way. More and more people I interview, I think it keeps the synapses in the brain. There's something about having struggles and challenges and things that move us past adversity that we have to figure out each day. It's not just sitting on Netflix and then our mind go to pasture.
Right.
And that's something to it, you know? So how do you typically start your days? Do you do workouts in the morning? How do you start your day?
The very first thing I do every day is I train with my trainer. And that's for two reasons. One, I start every day with health, but also the second reason, every day that I start my day, the very first things I'm doing are not my own ideas. When you train with someone, you follow their instructions. So every morning I remind myself, I am not the creator of the universe. I'm not here to make all the planets spin, all these things happen. In the first hour of every waking day, I'm training for my health, and I'm also taking direction from somebody else. I don't make the workouts. I just do what I'm told. As an entrepreneur, we can really slide back into, well, I'm the CEO or I'm the president. I've got to make it happen. When you start every day listening to someone else's instructions, you really realize how powerless you are and what a gift that is, knowing it's not up to me to keep the planets orbiting. It's not up to me to maintain the economy. It's up to me to continue to do the next right thing.
Right. And it's like one of those things like Zuckerberg. He has this like 1 million of the same shirt because he doesn't want to have to think about what to wear. So it's like one of those things when you know what you got to do, then it's like you just got to put in the work, and it helps you as an entrepreneur be better because then you just do the work. He's telling you exactly what to do. You don't even have to use that mental capacity to think about, oh, I got to go to this one. Oh, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to do, an extra rep here. And obviously a trainer pushes you. Let's just be real. So, I mean,
that's right.
Trainer pushes you harder than you would normally go. So that's the extra thing that's helping you, my man. Is there a skill you want to master right now? Is there something you're trying to get through this crazy year of 2020, this pandemic year? Is there something you're looking to get better at?
You know, my New Year's resolution for 2020, my big mantra was to live in a beautiful state always, regardless of what's happening. Always be in a beautiful state, always be grateful. And I'm so glad that was my big mantra for 2020, because 2020 for a lot of people has been a roller coaster. And the thing I'm really working on mastering right now is to always be in a beautiful state, no matter what's happening, whether it's good times, bad times, profitable times, lack of profitable times, busy times, slow times, to always be in a beautiful state.
That's the only way to live, folks. Truly, the world needs more love and respect right now. We talked about the earlier guest, joy, more joy. Things that, at the end of the day, you got to love yourself. You got to love your life. Like you love your life. You can tell it. You can feel Christopher's love for his life. And that's the most important thing, because when you love your life, when you're doing you, when you're focused on the things that you got to get done, you become a much bigger beacon of love to everyone else. And so I love your energy, brother. I love your energy. I know you don't have a lot of apps on your phone, but do you have a favorite app at all that you like using?
The one I recommend the most, and this would be really smart to recommend like a social media app, but really the one I recommend the most to people is MyFitnessPal, because it logs what you eat and it's mindless. You just put in what you eat and it tells you what to eat and what macros to hit. And it's like so simple, stupid, that it's the app I recommend the most, which I love. I'm in it, hundreds of times per day, logging all my stats.
Owned by Under Armour.
Yes.
Amazing.
They sold Under Armour.
Very smart acquisition for Under Armour, because it's amazing. It's amazing. It seamlessly just kind of tracks everything, and then if you've already basically put that in, it kind of just knows your routine of like what the things you eat, so you don't have to worry about that. And that is the way you get success, is you track what you're doing. And the best thing about those apps is they cause you to not want to go hit the pantry because you got to log it. Right. At the end of it now, you're like, do I want to put that ice cream bar in there, or do I just want to stay here? So it's another level of accountability, which sometimes we all need. Tonight for dinner, if you could have a lovely vegan meal with anyone in the world, who would it be?
I could pick anyone to have dinner with?
Oh, yeah. They're coming to you. They're coming to Houston, Texas.
I would love to have dinner with Warren Buffett. I met him once, and I'd love to ask him some follow-up questions, especially what he's doing right now in 2020. He's made some major moves, and I I really admire what he's done, and I've got questions, and I would love to meet with him.
I know for someone that's so bullish, my family's directly tied to Berkshire Hathaway in many ways. So
cool.
I always had some experiences. My father just always having experiences going to the annual meetings and managing clients' money that is directly tied up in Berkshire. And so I've always been a Berkshire B share investor. But the point is, I mean, he's got a lot of cash on the sidelines. You always kind of just think about that for someone that's so bullish, sold all the airlines, sold tons of equities this year, hasn't really made a big move yet. Mm-hmm. Is he going to make a big move? Because I think he wants to make a big move. And so I think he's kind of saving the cash, hoping the economy can maybe bring some value down in some of these companies. And he likes to buy the whole company. He likes to buy all of Geico. He doesn't want to own a piece. So I think he's waiting for that all company to buy with his cash right now. That's my hopeful point as an investor. Otherwise, you just think he'd be wanting to buy in his own shares. You think he'd be wanting to use his money to buy his own shares. And if you believe in the economy, so it would be interesting. As someone, and he's in the news now with this Dave from Barstool Sports, this guy from Barstool Sports. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's now becoming a day trader, the CEO of Barstool Sports, and he's now even bashing at Warren Buffett. It's just happened this last week. He's kind of saying Warren Buffett's lost his touch because you can make so much money day trading, and it's just funny.
Interesting.
The world's changed. The world's changed, out there. It's just very interesting. But I love Warren. I think him and Charlie Munger are two of the most fascinating people in this world. Christopher, if you could give our listeners one last real talk thought, what would that be?
I'd like to give them an offer. Would that be okay?
Of course. Let's do it. Let's bring the offer, baby. Let's go.
I could give your listeners, and I was thinking about this this morning when I was preparing for my day, I can only do 10 of these. And I would, like earlier, we're talking about live your life in service, and you talking to your clients, you'll give away your featured item. I tell my clients, give away your best stuff.
Right.
I am running a paid advertising campaign right now for Facebook makeovers. I charge hundreds of dollars for a Facebook makeover. And I would like to give your listeners a completely free, and this is like straight up free, no obligation, free Facebook makeover. I'll create 30 days of content. I'll create your profile graphics. I'll optimize your profile description, and I'll create a contest for you that will generate lead. I can only do 10 of them. And so I'd like your listeners, if they'd like to be one of those 10, they've got to quickly contact me. They can go to my website at smminternational.com. So that's socialmediamarketinginternational.com. Or they can email my staff at office, which is OFFICE, at smminternational.com. And then just say, hey, I'd like the free Facebook makeover that you told Travis you would do. And if you're within the first 10, I'll let you know. And I'll say, hey, great news, you're within the first 10. Or I'll say, hey, we've run out, but I'd like to still get to you soon. Right. So I'd love to have your listeners do that, because that's one of our flagship products, is our best stuff. And right now, the people need so much help with their marketing to create social media advertising to help grow their businesses. So right now, I'd like to do that. So that's going to be hundreds of dollars worth of value for each makeover, 10 makeovers for your listeners, $1,000 worth of value, nothing in return. Just want to help business owners thrive during this time.
Did you guys hear that, folks? Wow, that is amazing, Christopher. Thank you so much for that offer. We'll definitely put the details in the show notes as well, folks, where you can find that, where you can email them. That is an amazing offer, my man. I love that you're doing that for people out there, because we all need help, man. I mean, everyone out there is at all different places. And so we're all going to get back in this. I know great business owners like us that are going to fight our way back, and we're going to be scrappy. We're going to figure things out. We're going to make tough calls. I've had to make many tough calls in the last 3 months, 100 days. We're going to win. We're going to win. And so I just appreciate you, brother. I know your agency is going to continue to prosper. I love your energy, bro. Anything we can do together in the future too, I want to try to synergize. I know we tried to work together a few times, but this dude is a true rock star, folks. You've been hanging out with my man, Christopher Wick, and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real. What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. Right now, more than ever, folks, we need to work on our reputation for our businesses. And get those reviews, get those positive reviews, get those positive recommendations on both on your social, but also to market on your website. And that is why you want to check out my business, folks, our software, realtimereputation.us. That's realtimereputation.us. Please check it out. It is literally the best thing that's ever happened to many of our campaigns, as that reviews bring together your social and digital campaigns. And the more positive reviews, as people are making those positive, decisions, they're looking at your, at your reviews. And so the more you can get, the better. And make it easy and automated with realtimereputation.us. Check us out.